Welcome to One Girl in All the World, the Buffy the Vampire Slayer rewatch podcast where we recap each episode in order and discuss. I'm Ashley, Buffy superfan.
I'm Kimmy, Buffy newbie.
You can find us on all major podcast apps, YouTube, and Instagram with new episodes on Tuesdays. So we are together again. Haven't
and it feels so good.
We had to. I looked up when we recorded together last night. It was Nightmares because we didn't remember.
How long ago was that? How many episodes was that?
It was season 1, episode 10.
Oh, so a while
2
ago.
before the finale.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, and this is episode 8 of season 2. So
it's been a hot minute.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute. It's when I dog sit. When you come over on a Tuesday, and it happens to be...
I pawn my dog off on
and it happens to be, like, close when we're recording. But it's nice. Mix things up.
That's right. And
I was thinking, because I was like, okay, you're going to come over and record in person. I was thinking of all the episodes that we have to watch together.
Are there episodes we have to watch together?
Like, just because they're so, like, important.
Ooh, which ones? Is there one coming up?
I would say the finale of this season for sure.
Okay, so that's a while away still.
Yeah.
Because it's like 20-something episodes, right?
Yeah, 22.
Okay.
We're getting to the middle of the season already. Because this is 8.
That's true, actually.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
We're getting there.
3 more episodes.
A lot of the finales, for sure. And, like, some of my favorite. Okay, like, Hush, which is season 4. The Body, season 6. There's, like, Once More with Feeling, season 6. Like, all my faves. We have, like, the big ones we have to watch together. And that includes most of the finales.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that seems fair.
Yeah, I just have to witness you witnessing it for the first time. I've seen it so many times. Like, it's so weird that somebody would watch it for the first time. Like, it's a weird concept for me.
Yeah.
So it'd be fun. I'd just be like, hee hee hee. Okay, but we're not at any of those yet.
But I mean, this was still quite the episode.
Oh no, it was great. It was great.
Quite the episode,
Yeah.
I'll say. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're talking about
Season 2, episode 8.
The Dark Age. Okay, so The Dark Age aired November 10th, 1997. It was written by Dean Batali and Rob Dishotel. Again, they're back. And again, also back is Bruce Seth Green directing. And the synopsis for this episode is, Giles' quiet existence in Sunnydale is jeopardized when a murder victim who is found out to be linked to Giles' past is discovered on the steps of the school library. Meanwhile, when the mark of Igon, a demon that takes possession of a dead host, takes over Miss Calendar, Buffy and Angel discover the one way to save her soul. All right, so did you have anything to say up at the top?
It was a surprising episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was surprised by how horny Miss Calendar is.
Yeah, okay. Well, yes.
I mean, I guess I wasn't too surprised, but yeah, she
made her intentions known.
Yeah.
Get it, girl.
Yeah, because Giles, he's pretty reserved.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
And so she's the one making the moves. So good for her,
Yeah.
Waiting around for this guy to make a move.
Why
She's doing
it. Yeah, just
Yeah.
get her done.
Yeah. Get her done. She's trying to do Giles, yes. So we start with a Slayer opening. Why is all I have in my notes. Why? I'm moving on.
Just to bother you.
Moving on. It is just to bother me at this point. Okay, so we open at night on the school grounds, and a nervous guy is wandering around with a briefcase, and he's just looking suspicious and kind of scared.
He looks weird.
Yeah,
Out of place.
he's not comfortable, and he asks the janitor where he can find Rupert Giles, and the janitor says, "Oh, he's the librarian. He's over there. The library is this way." So he goes off to try to find Giles, and a woman approaches him kind of like in the shadows. We don't really see her like silhouette, and it's obvious it's a woman.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh God. And we're like, oh God, what is it? And she comes into the light, and her face is she looks like a zombie.
She looks like a zombie. She totally looks like a zombie.
Yeah, not a zombie. Well, I guess she is a zombie.
I know,
She's a reanimated corpse.
A weird zombie?
Yeah. She's a possessed reanimated corpse, which is kind of a zombie.
Yeah.
They definitely went physically looking like a zombie.
Yeah.
So she looks like a zombie, and he calls her Deidre.
Yeah.
Deidre. So he obviously knows her. And it's not good. He's not happy to see her.
He looks scared.
He looks scared.
And he's like, where's Giles now?
Yeah, so he starts pounding on the door. She says his name, though, I think. She says Philip. So we learn his name.
Oh, I totally missed that.
She says Philip.
I just heard him pounding on the door looking for Giles, and I was like, Hoping Giles was gonna come save him. But...
Yeah, so he's trying to pound on the door before she gets to him, and we cut to the library where Buffy is working out. It's because of Buffy's, like, horrible music that this all happens.
She has to stay on beat.
Yeah. He's like calisthenics.
She's aerobicizing. She must have her beat.
Giles is hates it with I always said a bloody passion. With a bloody passion. The music, it's like a 90s techno song. Yeah. No lyrics. It's just like...
No, and she's just like, what is she even doing? She's not following a video or anything, right?
No, she's just doing like the stepper.
Stepper.
Yeah. My dad, and this is like how long ago this was, my dad made my mom... My dad was like a carpenter. Like a really talented carpenter. It wasn't his job, but he did it. He like built us like beds. And, like he was like playhouse. Like he was extremely talented carpenter.
That's cool.
Yeah, and he made my mom a stepper, like for exercise, and then
cool.
like put like basically like what you like kind of like Afro turf kind of like covering on it so it gives traction.
Oh, cool.
And I always remember that was around my house for so long, so I immediately thought of that thing.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that thing's so old. My parents got divorced when I was 6, so it was like so perfect. So that was a popular thing. Oh yeah, so I thought of that. So she's just doing like her aerobics, more like
aerobicizing.
Yeah. So she's having a good time with her music, and Giles is hating it. But it's like it's part of her training. She's working out, so he has to
deal with it, and
still make sure she's doing what she needs to do.
Yeah.
Outside, Deidre breaks Philip's neck.
Yeah, that's harsh.
Yeah, it's mean, Deidre. That's a little bit of an overreaction.
But then, especially because she just dies after anyway. I was like, what was the point?
Yeah, she just kind of falls down and like disintegrates.
Into a puddle.
Like very Alex Mack. Do you remember Alex Mack?
Alex Mack. The name sounds familiar, but I don't.
I think I'm saying it. I think it's correct. It was a 90s TV show on I think Nickelodeon about a girl that got she got in trouble. She like snuck in or so I can't remember their premise. She went to this like laboratory or facility, and she accidentally got either I don't remember how it happened. Like it got like thrown on her, or something fell on her, like this like goo or whatever, and she got like it changed her, and then she could. So from there on, she had this like power to like turn into like a green like slime.
Oh yeah, that doesn't sound.
And like move around and like do all this kind of stuff. You go under doors and all this stuff.
I have no idea what that is. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So the little green like puddle that Deidre turns into reminded me of Alex Mack.
Alex Mack puddle.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I was confused at, and so this is why, like, I wrote zombie, but then I was just like, when she kills him and then dies, I was like, is that, like, a zombie thing? I feel like
no.
Zombies should die a little more.
This is, like, zombie plus. Zombie 2.0.
Zombie minus? Because you die so easily and quickly.
Yeah. It's definitely, okay, we'll say zombie adjacent.
Okay, I like that.
Because she is a reanimated corpse, and she looks like a zombie.
Yeah, definitely.
But she's possessed.
Just like zombies are hard to kill, right?
I mean, it depends. I mean, it's just a headshot. It's all you need, really.
Yeah, I know, but she killed somebody and then died.
Yeah, nobody killed her.
That doesn't make sense.
Nobody killed her.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's just possessed.
Like reverse zombie or something.
Yeah, she's just possessed. Okay,
zombie adjacent. Let's go with
zombie adjacent.
I like that.
Oh, right. So, yeah, Deidre breaks his neck. She kind of disintegrates, and his eyes kind of...
Creepy?
Yeah, they like kind of like shimmer or something. His eyes are open from being killed. Anyway.
They look like cat eyes or something.
Yeah, they do look like cat eyes, yeah. And so you can say something's going on there, for sure.
And then Buffy finishes her workout just in the nick of time.
Yeah, just when it's too late. Giles says, and the rest is silence, which is from Hamlet.
And then it's just like, but it's so, I don't know what the word I'm thinking of is, but it goes with, like, that Philip guy dying.
Mm-hmm. And that was your trivia question. Yeah. Oh. So it's said twice in the Buffy movie. Merrick says it and Buffy says it as well. Yeah.
I totally forgot that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So that was he says it as well. So this is the third time in the Buffy verse that the quote's been said, which, like I said, is from Hamlet.
I missed that. Oh, it was a Hamlet quote. Okay.
Yeah. And then we go to Giles' house. We find out, and Giles is having a dream that has images kind of flashing. It's like a demon from fire, I think, a tattoo, and some guy saying, "Time to go to sleep."
Yeah.
He looks like a hippie.
Some weird dream.
Yeah. So Giles wakes up like from a nightmare. This is definitely a nightmare for him.
He's looking rough.
Yeah, he's startled by this. So he's not happy with having this dream.
Yeah.
In the quad, Buffy and Willow are playing Anywhere We're Here, which I thought was fun.
Yeah, I've never heard of this game. Have you?
No, not outside of Buffy, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
It sounds like a cute game.
Yeah, sounds fun. If you're like in a doctor's office, you're like, let's play this. Or somewhere you just don't want to be. They don't want to be at school.
Buffy's is like this normal like beach dream or whatever. Which guy did she talk about?
Gavin Rosdale.
That's right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I like Willow's though. Hers is like in Italy. It's a little more unique.
Yeah.
She talks about cannoli, no, ziti.
Ziti.
And then she talks about John Cusack.
John Cusack, yeah.
I was like, okay, Willow.
I could see him for Willow.
Yeah.
Like, she wouldn't go for somebody that was
He's
like...
He's gonna be holding the boombox over his head for Willow.
I mean, he's an attractive person.
He is.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But he's not like... So I just feel like
attractive?
somebody that Willow would find attractive.
I don't find Brad Pitt particularly attractive, but like conventional attractive, that's what it is.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
But
so I thought that was a good one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Xander comes over and he says his is Amy Yip. Is that was it?
Maybe.
Amy Yip,
Amy
I think.
Something. It's definitely Amy, I think.
Then is Yip, I think. So yeah, I looked her up because I had no idea who she was. And she was like, yeah, like she was like a sex symbol.
Oh.
Like actress in like the 90s.
Is this like someone from their high school?
Hong Kong.
Oh, weird.
Like in Asia.
Okay.
And she has like humongous boobs. So that's probably why he wants to go to the water park with her. Yeah.
Typical Xander.
Yeah, typical Xander.
Okay.
And he's like, never changes his answer. They're like, you always say that. He's like, I am very constant in my affections.
Consistency is
Yeah. So that's where he wants to go to the water park with her.
Got it. Oh, do you think Giles ever played this game?
Oh, that's what it was, yeah.
And then Buffy was like, oh, I could just picture him sitting in math class being like, there should be more math. This could be mathier.
Yeah, I love when they're saying that, oh, his diapers were tweed. That love that line.
And then he walks up and then she's like, is that tweed?
He's like, oh, yes, it is. No idea, like they're roasting him. Yeah, they're roasting him. He doesn't even know
Giles.
it. Yeah.
So
Giles tells Buffy in the hallway that she has to show up at the hospital tonight because there's going to be a blood delivery, and that could be a target for vampires. So she needs to make sure that nothing goes awry when that donated blood is delivered.
Yeah.
Jenny comes by and says, "Hello, England." That's like a little nickname she has for him.
Oh, I didn't even catch that. That's cute.
That's cute.
Aww.
Yeah. So they're talking, and she's talking about what she's doing Saturday school, basically. That for computer class.
Yeah.
And Willow is helping out for extra credit.
Yeah.
And apparently Xander didn't know that he was going.
No, he's like making fun of all of them and he's like, something about schlubs. And then
those poor schlubs.
Yeah.
Coming to school on a Saturday.
And then Miss Calendar's like, I'll see you on Saturday, Xander. And then Buffy's like, got a bit of schlub on your shoe there?
Yeah. I am not surprised that Xander is... I feel like he probably should have known that he was going to be there already. It's like Friday.
Very...
Like what? He doesn't know what's going on.
No,
I
never
guess.
knows what's going on.
Yeah, so I'm not surprised Xander's there. But she said it's just him and Cordelia.
Yeah, which I thought
like
was weird.
students.
No one else was behind?
Yeah, and Cordelia, we've seen her have problems with computers before, so I guess this isn't totally not backed up. Remember when she like couldn't figure out what to do with their project, and then Willow told her to hit delete.
Oh yeah.
Deliver.
Deliver everything.
And so we know Cordelia has like a bit of a learning curve with computers,
I
but
wouldn't guess that Xander would either, but
yeah, but you know, Cordelia's pretty like proactive student.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like
she wants to do well.
Yeah, even though she talks craziness a lot in class, but I was a little bit surprised for her to be there. But of course, they have to put the characters that know stuff together.
What it is. Everyone that knows everything.
Yeah. So he's like, "Oh, I love when Xander says, great, extra day at school, Cordelia. If we just throw in some rectal surgery, it'll be my best day ever."
Oh my god!
And even Giles chuckles at that. Rectal surgery. It was a good one. Okay, Xander. That was a good one. I liked that. Horrible. It just tells you how much does not want to do this. He's comparing it basically to rectal surgery.
I like how, like, in the next scene, Giles and Miss Calendar are talking about this book that he lent her.
By E.M. Forster?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And then she's all like, oh yeah, and I was folding the pages. And then I was underlining everything. And then I spilled coffee all over it, and he's horrified.
I can relate to him in this moment. Like, if someone told me, like, I let them borrow a book and, like, they did that to it, I'd be like, ah!
Remind me never to do that to any of your book. My books get dog-eared, and they're just, like, a mess, because I bring them with me everywhere. Yeah. And, like, they just get, like, torn and just, yeah.
I don't mind a well-read book.
Okay.
But, like...
It's well-read, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what she's talking about. Is anarchy. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Yeah, so he was like, yeah. And she's like, just kidding, here it is.
In perfect condition.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a book by E.M. Forrester. And to go back a little bit, another book little cameo we got was when Buffy's, because they're all talking about the computer class in front of Buffy's locker, and she's getting stuff out of it. She gets a book out called The Europeans by Luigi Brezzani Jr. It's basically a textbook about Europe, and that was published in 1983. So yeah, she gets it out of her locker. Yeah.
Is the Forster, is that poetry? Or no?
She said it was I don't know. And there was no cover on it, so we don't know which book it is. Like, we don't see which book it is. But she said it was romantic, but I don't really know. Okay. Yeah, that's something I'll have to look up. Okay. So she scares him. And she's like, I just like to watch you squirm.
She's so mean.
She teases the crap out of him.
And then she's like, has anybody ever told you you're kind of a fuddy-duddy? And he's like, I don't know. And then she's like a sexy fuddy-duddy?
Yeah, the games begin, Jenny.
Damn.
And then she says, oh, like, let's go out, or like, let's on Saturday night or whatever. Let's do something. And he's like, oh, you want to go out? Yeah. She said, nope. I want to stay in. And he's like, oh, shit.
Could it get more obvious?
This is it. Is this their third date?
Damn. This is their third date?
We know that they had it's at least their third date.
Because they had the wrestling match?
Was that Monster Trucks. You thought it was
right, sorry.
Monster Trucks, the football game.
Yeah, okay.
Have they actually been on another date?
If they have, it hasn't been discussed in the show.
Right. So on screen, this probably is their third date.
Okay.
And you know what that means.
Third date, is that the average?
I mean, that's what they say. Like, third date is bow chicka bow bow time. So, yeah. So Jenny's like, look at my watch. It's third date time. I want to get under that tweed right now. And she's laying it on thick. She's not, like,
holding back.
She's not, like, mincing her words. She's not saying it, I want to bone you, like, right out. But she's saying, like, I want to stay in. Yeah. And he's like, okay, all right.
And then she even says something like, I want to watch you squirm, right?
Yeah. She says, yeah, they kiss in the hallway at school.
As the bell rings.
Yeah. And then she saes, I'll see if I can make you squirm.
That's right, yes.
So he is sweating under that tweed, yeah. Yeah, can't believe it.
Oh, man.
Can't believe he's gonna get laid. Or in the library, Giles walks in and he's like he's happy.
He's on cloud nine.
Yeah, he's on cloud nine.
He gets pulled back to.
Yeah, and then he's like, oh no, there are cops and a detective in the library.
Yeah, that sucks.
Which is never a good thing. They say that a man was found. He didn't have identification on him, but they found Giles' contact information on him. So they came to Giles for information.
And then Cordy comes in and she's all like, I need a book on computers because I suck at computers. And then he's like, Giles is like, oh, do you see this is not a good time or whatever? He doesn't say it quite like that, but she's like, oh, cops, great. Let me go talk to them about this ticket I have. I turned on this one-way street. I was going one way.
I loved that. Look, I was going one way. It just wasn't the right one way.
Obviously not the right way.
Yeah, so Giles has to get rid of her. And yeah, she's like, why does everyone always yell my name?
And it's not like I'm deaf.
And I can take a hint, but she doesn't have the hint.
No. So she's like, I can take a hint. What is it?
What is it? Yeah, so this is a funny Cordy moment. And Giles gets rid of her. She leaves. And she's pretty, like, she would never get away. I don't know. Like, you couldn't talk to a teacher like this. He's like, come back later. She's like, yeah, when you visited Decaf Land, and leaves. She would get in so much trouble.
She's very privileged.
Yeah, like, I don't know. You couldn't talk to a teacher like that.
No, definitely not.
But yeah, she leaves, and Giles is like, okay, what do you want me to do? So they're at the morgue, and Giles has to identify Philip's body. So they bring him out of the refrigerator.
The refrigerator.
And it's refrigerated.
There's gotta be a name for that.
Matt listens to our show, and he was listening to Never Kill Boy on the First Date, where we had this exact conversation where we didn't know what that was called. And he was like, that's what it's called. He told me, and I forgot. So sorry.
Corpse holder? I should know. I feel like I should
Corpse
know
shoebox?
I feel like I should know the name.
You know what we're talking about with the slab that rolls out. Everybody's seen it. Everybody knows what it is.
The thing in the morgue.
Yeah, everyone knows what it is. It's and it's refrigerated, I guess. So they roll him out, and he's all like, even though he was just like, his neck was just broken, he's all covered in like bruises.
It looks weird.
He looks bad.
Yeah.
He looks bad. Giles is shocked. He says it's Philip, and what's Philip's last name? I wrote it down. Henry.
Henry, yep.
It's Philip Henry. They were friends from London, but he hasn't talked to him.
Ago.
But they haven't talked in like 20 years.
Yeah.
I think that's what he said. 20 years, yeah. And he sees on Philip's arm there's a tattoo, which is the same tattoo from Giles' dream. And the detective asks, do you know what this is? Like, do you recognize that? And he says no.
But she, like, the way he looks at it is super obvious that he does know. And then she's looking at him like,
I did think that, and I was thinking, you know what? Like, I bet they're used to people being, like, very uncomfortable and odd around dead bodies. Maybe. Especially someone that you just show up and you have a past friend that's just dead in front of you. Yeah. Like, what was he doing? Like, from her perspective, I could see how she could just be like, he's in shock, and you know what I mean?
Maybe.
People, I'm sure I wouldn't be, like, acting completely, like calm and comfortable and normal if I had identified some dead body, a person that I knew.
Weird, yeah.
So that's kind of how I explained it away. But yeah, I had the same thought too. In the hospital parking lot, Buffy is waiting for the delivery and for Giles.
She's waiting for Giles. And she's all like, I was told not to be late, but...
Bad Giles, he didn't show up.
And when she starts to walk towards a payphone?
1997, Kimmy.
Damn.
1997.
I vaguely remember these things.
Yeah. So she's about to call him, but then the delivery truck pulls up, so she's distracted. So
it's funny because at first the delivery truck looked like an unmarked van to me, but then when you look closer, it says medical transport on it, but it looks super sketch, honestly.
Okay, yeah, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah,
good catch.
That's not a normal medical transport vehicle.
Yeah. And so these doctors come out of the hospital to collect the blood. The guy drops it off and leaves, and she's like, ooh, cute ER doctors. But then she thinks it's a little suspicious that doctors are coming out.
It's totally suspicious. Doctors don't pick up blood transport.
And I'm like, I don't know if you, like, she doesn't know they're doctors. I think they do have stethoscopes, but they could be, they would, even nurses or anybody else wouldn't be coming out.
They're wearing white coats. That's a doctor thing.
Are they wearing white coats?
Mm-hmm. I will notice the medical things of these episodes.
I thought they were just wearing blue scrubs.
Nope, they were wearing white coats.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. But, and yeah, like, even a non-doctor, like a nurse or whoever, wouldn't be going out to pick up the blood, I don't think.
It would be like a lab person.
Somebody else would be doing it.
It would be a lab person.
Right. So, yeah. So she thinks that's suspicious.
It is suspicious.
And she's right, because a car comes up and they're going to try to load.
Classic car.
Yeah.
I missed it.
Did you? Okay, yeah, I didn't notice.
I'm going to say 1960 something, but I don't know what it was.
Okay.
Could have been a Chevy something.
Actually, they usually list all the cars.
Do they? I'm so curious.
Objects.
Ooh, objects.
No, they didn't list it.
Bummer. Okay.
Sometimes on the Buffyverse wiki, they will put stuff.
Or see, it even says vampire doctor. It said it scroll up a bit. See, it says vampire doctor.
Yeah, so some kind of cool car, apparently. And we see that the doctors turn into vampires. They're actually vampires.
Damn, and the guy in the car is a vampire.
Yeah, so they're coming, exactly what Giles was worried about has happened, that they've come to take the blood. And one guy starts digging into
he's
an
like,
appetizer.
Let's just have a little
he just wants to test it, make sure it's okay. You know? He wants to test
little
it.
Snack, little blood snack.
Yeah, little blood snack. So he yells at him, he's like, hey, you can't eat the product. And then Buffy, like, okay. She knows what's going down. She goes and she starts beating them up. And then she runs into Angel, because they almost hit each other. Because in the confusion of battle, Angel shows up.
Yeah, and then she stakes two, and he lets one get away.
The one in the car drives off, I believe. Yeah,
the one that Angel had. Mm-hmm. He's not great at this.
And it's funny because she's like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "It's delivery day. Everybody knows about this."
That was really funny.
I love that. He's like, "It's delivery day."
Obviously.
Yeah, like,
because Giles was kind of the same way. I felt like earlier in the episode, he's like, "It's delivery day."
Yeah, like
hospital.
It seems obvious. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, like, yeah, anywhere where there's like blood, you know, because it's interesting because later on, you're like, okay, well, if these vampires are taking the blood from a donation, whatever, they're not feeding on humans. So isn't that like a good thing?
Yeah,
I know it means that like people aren't getting the blood at the hospital. Isn't this a better alternative than them going out and hunting for people?
It's almost like being vegetarian for a vampire.
Yeah.
Because you're not killing somebody.
Yeah. I mean...
Or like a moral vampire? Like, what does Angel do? Do we ever find out what Angel does?
Usually it's like pig's blood. It's animal blood they usually drink. If they're not drinking... If they're off the human juice for whatever...
vegetarian.
Whatever reason, they drink animal blood.
Okay. That's what they did in Twilight.
Is it? Okay, yeah. I was a Twi-head for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm totally reformed.
Re-listening to the books right now.
Reformed. I'm reformed.
Reformed?
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be me.
I've been reprogrammed into society now. I never got reprogrammed for Buffy, though. Always that first. But, Twilight came way after Buffy. But anyway. Yeah, I think that... So, I don't know. I'm, like, kind of like, okay, well, that would keep them off feeding someone. So, I don't know. You know?
Yeah, okay, that's
It would stop them from... I mean, that's, like, a lot of blood in there.
Yeah, it was. It was, like, a huge cooler full.
Yeah, like, that could, stop them from going out for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't be the worst thing to let them take a couple of those every once in a while.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess you could argue it both ways. But Buffy says, okay, they only ruined one pack, or Angel says that. And she says, can you take the rest of the blood into the hospital and make sure it gets in? Because I have to check on Giles. Because he didn't show up. He's late. And he's like... Angel doesn't really get it. Yeah. She's like, Giles is late. He's like, okay, yeah. There you go. Like, being tardy is like the 8th deadly sin to Giles, which I get, because I hate being tardy, too. I just relate so much to Giles in this episode. the book horror that he experienced, the book anxiety, and... Punctuality, yeah. So, yeah, he's going to do that, and she's going to take off and go to Giles' house. She shows up to check on him and knocks on the door. He opens. He's, like, disheveled.
Yeah, he has, like, stubble.
Yeah, like, odd-looking.
Bad. He's acting weird.
He's not buttoned up as usual. Like, his shirt is unbuttoned, and he's just... Something's up, for sure.
Yeah, he's not himself.
He's trying to... He forgot about the blood delivery.
Very un-Giles-like.
Yeah. And she's like, what the heck?
He's like, are you hurt? And she's like, well, no. Maybe my feelings a bit.
You forgot about me. Yeah, he's like, oh, well, if everything's okay, like, I'm sorry. If everything's okay, I have to go. I'm involved in something really important. And he just closes the door in her face, basically.
That's harsh.
Yeah. We see a mirror for people that are really into, like, the parallels of the show. We see a mirror kind of image of this scene in season 7.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
If you know, you know. Okay. So... She is disturbed. That visit didn't make her feel any better about what's going on with him. It made her more concerned, if anything. Yeah, so she takes off, and then we follow Giles, and he is calling for Deirdre. So he's trying to get a hold of Deirdre Page, and he finds out that she's dead.
Yeah, she recently died.
Yeah, that she recently died.
He's got this little list of 5 names.
He's got a list.
3 of them are already crossed up, including Deirdre.
Yeah, Thomas Sutcliffe, Philip Henry, Deirdre Page, Ethan Rain, and Rupert Giles.
Oh, damn, you got all the names. Okay, yeah, his name's on there, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So these are, like, kind of the people. We didn't know anything about Thomas. We never got any information on him, but his name is crossed off, so obviously he's died.
Yep.
I'm guessing he was the first one, and then he went to Deirdre, and then Philip, and then...
Giles is next.
Yeah. So he is very disturbed by hearing this, and he obviously, like, this list is being ticked off in some way. And Giles gets up to go, like, kind of splash water to his face, and he pulls up his sleeves, and we see this matching tattoo.
Yeah, that he didn't know anything about. Liza Minnelli.
Yeah, that Philip has the matching tattoo, and it's also the tattoo that he saw in his dream. So, connection here, obviously. He looks in the mirror and says, "So you're back."
Yeah, that's weird.
Woo! What's going on there?
What does that even mean?
In the morgue, Philip kind of comes back to life in the morgue refrigerator.
This is more zombie-like.
Yeah. And I put he kills the medical examiner, but he just put I think actually I looked and it's supposed to be, he's credited as the morgue assistant. Okay. So, morgue assistant.
I did notice that the morgue assistant was also wearing a white coat for the record, though. So, and also,
his name is Kessler, even though we don't know about that.
Morgue assistants normally, like, check the bodies like that? Like,
I know, I was like, making sure they're still there.
Like, what was that?
Okay, still there. Like,
I don't think that's a thing.
I don't know. It was like, yeah, what is he checking for?
I don't know.
That they're still in there?
Like vitals?
Yeah. Still dead, still in the thing. Still in the fridge. Like, I'm not sure what he was...
I thought that was really... Because he's even making notes. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, moving on. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't know.
So he pulls...
Opens Philip's door up.
It's empty,
yeah. And Philip comes behind him with a blanket, covers him up with a blanket, and then throws him into the little... on the slab and put him in there.
Be a terrible way to die.
Like, I don't think he died.
The morgue assistant?
Yeah. He just got thrown in there and the door got closed.
But, like, wouldn't you freeze to death?
I mean, I don't know. I think it would take a while.
But what if, like, if this was, like, the night shift? What if nobody comes in?
Yeah, if nobody ever, like, if it takes, like, 2 days or something, or a whole day for someone to come in.
12 hours even, though.
Yeah, he could have. Let's say I didn't, like, immediately think he's dead. He has a chance.
Yeah.
He's a good chance to get out.
All right.
Because he's going to be screaming and stuff. So hopefully somebody hears him. I just didn't think. I was like, oh, that guy is not dead for a while.
Okay.
So hopefully.
I assumed he met his demise.
Yeah, I assumed that he didn't, like...
Okay, let's go with your theory.
I assumed that he had a chance, a good chance.
Okay.
In the classroom, Cordelia... Like, so this is the next morning. They're arriving for the computer trash. Yeah, computer class. Computer trash. Computer class. So it's Cordelia, Jenny, Xander, and Willow. Yeah. And I love when Xander's like, what am I going to need these computers for anyway? And Jenny's like, oh, work, school, games, like what are you not going to use it for?
And then, yes, correct, because we use computers for literally everything now.
Yeah, right.
Like, can you imagine leaving your house without your little portable
handheld computer? Right, exactly.
No?
Xander's like, I think paper is going to make a big comeback. And then I was like, yeah, and the abacus. And Xander's all for this, so he doesn't have to take this class. It's like, you don't see enough abaci around anymore. It was cute. I love it. So they go into the room, and they're about to get started, and Jenny says, okay, what we're going to do first is, and then she's like, Buffy. And Buffy walks in. And Xander says, oh, did I fall asleep already?
Oh, because he's dreaming?
First thing we're going to do is Buffy.
Oh.
Like, do her.
Oh my god.
And then Xander says, oh, did I fall asleep already? Like he was having a sex dream about Buffy.
Oh god. Wow, Xander. Nice.
That was good. And she showed, like, she's worried. And she wants to talk about Giles to Jenny and just says, like, I'm concerned. He seemed like he was drinking. And everyone's like, drink? He was drinking at home by himself? Yeah. Oh my god, this is not Giles.
That is weird.
That is not good. And Cordy says, oh, you know what? Like, he seemed okay when I saw him talking to the cops.
And they're like, why didn't you bring this up sooner?
Yeah, why didn't you tell us?
Like, God.
And he said they want to know what was being discussed, and she said a homicide.
Yeah.
And Buffy's like, okay, like, I've had enough of this. Like, I'm going to find out what's going on. Yeah. This is getting fishier and fishier.
Definitely.
So Buffy goes into the library, apparently, to call Giles. And she sees somebody moving around in the stacks, like a shadow.
I thought it was going to be the zombie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did. I was like, uh-oh.
She runs back there, and Ethan Rayne tries to push over a bookcase on her. Yeah. Which, if I had to meet my untimely death, that's probably what I would choose. Crushed to death by books. If I had to choose, I think being crushed by all Colleen Hoover's books would be pretty cool.
Okay, I want to just...
among other things.
I want to fall asleep and not wake up.
Okay, well, that's a close second. Crushed with all the books that I love. Just crushed me.
So she recognizes Ethan from the costume shop, and she smacks him because she's like, oh, I remember you. And
yeah, you almost got us all killed.
All the craziness that ensued after that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, just a reminder that he was the one from Halloween that ran the costume shop that knows Giles, just in case. This is only the second time we've met him. So yeah, he's back hanging around. And she's like, what are you doing? And he's like, what does he say? Like, snooping around.
Snooping around. Yeah. He's honest.
Yeah. His attitude reminds me so much of Spike. Like, their attitudes are very similar.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't care. I don't give a shit.
Like, just very honest. Yeah. I'm going to tell you like it is.
No
and I'm bad. I'm bad, and I'm not hiding that. And
I don't care.
Like, I'm going to steal things, and I'm going to do bad things. What do you expect from me? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just who I am.
And what are you going to do about it?
Yeah. So his like whole conversation here really reminds me of Spike. It's funny. She said she's going to call the cops, yeah, and that he's like, okay, well, they're going to have a lot of questions that only Rupert can answer, and then that's how she knows that, okay, Giles, and he says they go way back, which is concerning to Buffy.
Yeah.
At Giles' house, he's having another dream, and there's like a screaming demon, and the phone wakes him up, and it's Buffy calling from the library. And she says, what's the mark of Igon?
And see, the first time I heard this, I wrote Argon, because I was like, what did she just say?
Yeah, it's a little...
I think it is Igon if I wrote Argon.
It's spelled... where is it?
It's like E-Y...
G-H-O-N or something.
Yeah, something like that.
I can't find it. I watch everything with the subtitles on.
E-Y-G-H-O-N, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're in grave danger. Get out of there.
Yeah, if Ethan's with you, you're in danger. And right on cue, Philip charges through the stacks.
Zombie time.
At them. And Ethan tries to run. And when he tries to run, we do see his tattoo.
Yep.
Yeah, so we get the confirmation that he's also... Not that he was on the list. So yeah, he's didn't take much to confirm that he's part of this group that Giles is in. But we do see his tattoo for a second. Buffy manages to lock Philip in, like, the book cage.
Oh, yeah.
The book cage that we have seen used several times now and will be used many times over the next couple seasons.
And I love how Ethan tries to get away and, like, Xander goes to, like, grab him and misses, and then Cordy kicks him.
Just kicks him. I
love that scene. That was so great.
Yeah, don't mess with Cordy. So Giles shows up because he knew that Ethan was there and confronts Ethan. He confronts Ethan about... What is he doing here? I told you to leave town. And he's like, I know you're, Ethan says to Giles, I know you're having the dreams. Yeah. He's back. And they're just like, Buffy's like, what is going on? Like, she sees these two people talking over her head. She doesn't know what they're talking about, but she knows it's serious. And Giles won't tell her. Nobody will tell her what's going on.
Yeah.
And Philip breaks free of the book cage. And Jenny is there too. And the door opens... Like, the door flies open and knocks her out.
Yeah.
So she's unconscious. And Buffy is basically fighting Philip again. But Philip collapses and also disintegrates.
Mm-hmm. But we can see that when he turns into a puddle, that the puddle touches Jenny's hand.
Yeah. I don't even know if it needs to. But, yeah. But it does. It does touch her hand. And her hand kind of, like, flexes.
Yeah. I think that's just to make it
twitches.
obvious for people like me.
To
be like, oh, okay, what's going to happen now?
Her hand, like, twitches when the
Yeah.
Alex Maggoop touches her.
I just thought it was interesting, too, that the zombie died without Buffy doing anything, really.
Yeah, he just kind of went,
he just died.
And just fell over.
Yeah, it was weird.
He just convulsed and fell over.
Cordy's like, I'm going to be in therapy until I'm 30.
Yeah, poor Cordelia. Ethan, of course, at the first opportunity runs off.
Yep.
So he's gone.
He's gone.
Yeah, he's out of here. Jenny comes to, and she's like hugging. Giles is very like concerned about her, and they hug, and you can see she gets those like cat eyes.
Yeah, she's got
flash.
Yep, that's right.
Her eyes flash weird. Buffy confronts Giles about Last Weekending It, which is like a movie. It's called like Last Weekend, and it's about basically like the effects of alcohol. So basically, that's the reference there.
Oh, I didn't catch that. Okay.
Yeah, I had to look it up. But yeah, so she's like, you last weekending it in your apartment. Like, that's not good. That's not normal. And Giles is just like, stay out of it. It's none of your business.
Yeah, unequivocally stay out of it.
Yeah, and he just takes Jenny home.
Yeah,
makes sure Jenny's okay.
Pretty harsh to Buffy.
Yeah, he's not ready to let this all hang out.
Like, I kind of get it because he just wants to protect her, but at the same time, like, this is her world.
Yeah, and I think also he doesn't want to... we all have. Buffy and also the viewers have a very clear view of Giles.
Yeah.
That we know who he is. And I don't think he's ready for that to be shattered yet. Since you just took a sip of your water...
I'm sorry my drinking container isn't as cute as yours.
I'll take a sip of my water from my Kiss the Librarian mug. Season 4, we'll get there. One of my top 5 episodes. Kiss the Librarian mug. And it's a Giles episode, and that's Giles' cup, so that's appropriate.
So yeah, Buffy takes over. So Buffy's like, okay, well, we're gonna figure this thing out. She tells Willow to look stuff up and book things. Or, well, Willow's like, I'm gonna look things up in books or files. Mm-hmm. And, Cordy's gonna work with Xander to look through files, and yeah, they're gonna
Giles' personal files. Yeah, so she's just taking this on her own because he's not helping her. I like how Cordelia's like, okay, my turn. Like, what are you gonna give me to do? And she's like, what do you want? Buffy's like, well, why are you still here? She's like, I care about Giles. And when she says, okay, you can help Xander, she's like, well, and she's like, Cordelia, go. So she's like, I care about him enough to help, but I don't want to like work with Xander. Because, like, these two hate each other. Yeah. So in Giles takes Jenny to his apartment because she just said she's too, like, shooken up, basically, to be home alone. Yeah. He just apologizes to her, and she just tries to soothe him, saying, like, this stuff happens when people get involved.
And, like, for me, this scene, she's acting very damsel in distress. Like, I thought this was a little over the top.
Okay.
And I felt like it was because she's possessed. I don't think she would act like that in a normal stance.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's kind of badass, and she owns it.
That's true.
So I thought this was weird. Anyway.
Yeah. That makes sense, yeah. In the library, Willow finds the mark in a book, the mark of Aegon.
This is where I finally started
saying
Aegon. Right.
And she says it's Egyptian.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not. Sorry, I wrote it right and read it wrong.
So yeah, it's not Egyptian. I missed what it is though.
It's Etruscan.
Okay, because
Etruscan.
I don't know what that is. Okay.
And she says it's usually confused for Egyptian, but Etruscan goes way back further. They were around longer or earlier than Egyptian, but that's actually wrong in reality.
Apparently. Oh, really? I was like, I don't even think I've ever heard of Etruscan.
Yeah. So what Willow says, it's the other way around.
Okay.
Like in actual history, apparently.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
So it says, I'm just going to read some of the quotes here that she reads from the book because it explains a lot of stuff. It says, Aegon, also called the Sleepwalker, can only exist in this reality by possessing an unconscious host. Temporary possession imbues the host with a euphoric feeling of power. Unless the proper rituals are observed, the possession is permanent and Aegon will be born from within the host. Once called, Aegon can also take possession of the dead, but its demonic energy soon disintegrates the host, and it must jump to the nearest dead or unconscious person to continue to live.
Mm-hmm. And this was like that line was like dead or unconscious, so they were like, Buffy realizes.
Yeah, Jenny was unconscious right there, and then Philip disintegrated, so obviously it jumped to Jenny.
Yep, had to have.
At Giles' house, Jenny pulls out the phone line when he's not looking.
Yeah, he hears her though.
Yeah,
he just doesn't realize.
He hears a noise. He doesn't think like she's doing that, obviously. And Jenny comes on strong. I underline strong here. She wants to jump his bones right now, and he's like, "No, like first of all, we shouldn't even be together. First of all, we shouldn't even be together right now because I have a target on my back. Yeah. First of all. Yeah. Second of all, you've been through a traumatic night. You've been knocked unconscious. I'm not just gonna do you right now. Like that wouldn't be okay.
Can all guys be like that?
And she's like, I don't care. Do me. I don't care. And she gets annoyed.
Yeah.
That he's being a good guy.
Yep. It's not the right time.
And says it becomes clear that she's a demon. Her voice changes. Mm-hmm. And she says, you've never changed. And like she starts talking to him like in a different way where he's like, what? And yeah, his voice changes. Her voice changes.
Doesn't she say something like you've always been like a woman?
Yeah, you've been like a woman, like cried every funeral.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, you've always, I'm like, you've got me under your skin. And like her voice is completely changed.
And she said, you don't deserve me, but you got me.
Yeah. So like something's wrong, obviously. Yeah. And she kisses him. And then her face changes. She pulls back and her face is not quite zombie.
Like starting to
Yeah, it's starting to change. Yeah. Buffy busts in and fights Jenny. And it doesn't last long. Jenny kind of realizes, or, the demon realizes that she can't really get to Giles at the moment. So she says, 3 down, 2 to go. Be seeing ya, and jumps out the window.
Yep.
And Buffy makes sure Giles is okay, and finally he confesses to her that he created it.
Finally.
Yeah, Buffy's like, this is what we do. We'll figure it out. Yeah. We'll beat it up.
And she tells him not to be sorry.
Yeah, don't worry.
He's like, it's different because
I created it. It's different because I created it. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the there's a quick little scene here where in the library, Willow, because they're going through Giles' personal files, and Willow finds a rocker image of Giles.
Yeah.
Like when he was younger, and it's his head superimposed on Sid Vicious' body.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that was Sid Vicious' body, and he's put a young Giles head on it.
That's funny.
Yeah. So Giles in his wilder days. Back at Giles, Giles now tells her everything now because it's now that Jenny's been compromised. He has to come clean, and he tells her that he got into the occult. He was studying, I think he said history at Oxford, and he was also studying the occult, and at Oxford, yeah. And he dropped out because he just couldn't take the pressure of
overwhelming.
Yeah, that he couldn't take the pressure of his destiny, becoming a watcher. Mm. So he dropped out and went to London, and he found a crowd, a really bad crowd to practice magics with.
The worst crowd that would accept him.
Yeah.
So they were practicing magic.
Yeah. That's a really bad crowd for Giles.
Yeah.
So they called Aegon, and it possessed their friend Randall. So basically, what it would do was you would one person would go into a deep sleep and the other person would summon it. And then the person that was asleep would feel that euphoric feeling of power. So basically it was like high. It was like a drug.
Yeah.
But it got out of control and it possessed fully their friend Randall.
Yeah, and they couldn't exercise.
And they couldn't get it out of him. Yeah.
Killed him.
So he says, we thought it was gone, but obviously now it's back. And I don't know how to get rid of it. I don't know how to kill it without killing Jenny.
Yeah.
And Buffy says, okay, I'm going to go after Ethan because that's who she's going for now. And we'll just try to contain her until we can figure something out. Mm-hmm. So that's the plan. At the costume shop, Buffy arrives and finds Ethan pretty quickly and is like, hey, okay, I'm going to have to protect you because I have to protect Giles and Jenny. Like, to do that, I have to protect you, even though I hate you.
Yeah, he sucks.
And they say, okay, we're going to set up in the back room, like, barricade ourselves there, and, like, you know, let Jenny come to us. And he's like, okay, you go first.
Yeah,
and she falls for that.
She does. What? Like,
she should know better than that.
She knows he's, like, a creepy dude.
Yeah, and he just hits her in the back of the head and knocks her out.
Yep.
So she fell for that hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
And Buffy comes to, she's tied to a it's like a massage table, kind of.
It's like a massage table, which is weird.
A massage table.
He's talking about her initiation.
Yeah, with her back's up, so she's like, her chest is to the table.
Yeah. And
he's going to give her the tattoo, so he's going to initiate her into that little group.
So creepy.
Yeah. God. He's going to, like, make sure that more people are put in between him and this demon.
The zombie.
I love this. At the library, Cordelia and Xander fight about cutting off Jenny's head.
Oh, yeah.
This is my favorite scene when they're fighting, because this is so good. They're trying to find different ways to stop the demon, and Cordelia comes up with beheading, and Xander's like, yes, let's cut off Miss Calendar's head. She'll be the first headless computer teacher at the school. Do you think anyone will notice? And Cordelia says, you know, you're just stupid. You only had a brain, and then they just get up, and he's like, Xander says, 12 years of you, and I've had enough. I don't care if you're a girl. We're going to go for it. And they start, like getting close to each other. Okay. They just can't stand it.
In this scene, though, like, I know they're getting angry and whatever, but it looks like they're just about to kiss. Oh, they're giving me
There's passion.
They're giving me breadcrumbs. I see breadcrumbs.
See, you're seeing enemies to lovers, is what you're seeing.
That's exactly what I'm seeing.
Okay.
Yep.
But Willow's had enough because this is not productive, and she yells at them like,
She takes charge.
Willow. Yeah, this is like the first time Willow really takes charge.
Yeah.
And if they're not going to help, then get out of her library.
Yep.
And so I think Xander comes up with the idea, like, hey, well, let's just find another dead body. And so that really won't do anything because it will just give the demon a change of scenery, and that gives Willow an idea.
Yeah.
So we don't know what it is, but she's got a light bulb moment. Ethan has now tattooed Buffy.
So he has to remove his tattoo.
Yeah. So Buffy is tattooed now, and he pours, like, acid.
It's not okay.
On his tattoo to, like, remove it.
Oh, so gross.
That way, like, that's really the mark. Like, that's how obviously it's called the mark, but, like, that's how this demon, like, finds you and makes you a target. Giles is at home, and he has a vision of Buffy being tattooed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he knows that Buffy is now in this group, and so he runs off. Because initially he wanted to go with Buffy, but she said, no, like, you can barely stand up, and I need to, like, be quick and everything. Mm-hmm. So she convinced him to stay there. But now he's running off, because now he knows Buffy's in trouble. At Ethan's, Jenny arrives, and Buffy's trying to break free the whole time this is happening.
Yeah, well, right before Jenny shows up, I thought it was funny how Ethan is, like, he thinks he's finishing up and he's gonna leave before Jenny gets there, and he's like, hate to mutilate and run.
Yeah.
that was such a line.
Ethan's funny.
He is funny.
He's so funny. And so Jenny comes in and is about to get Ethan, but then she's like, oh, wait, like, he doesn't have a tattoo. And she, like, almost, like, smells Buffy's tattoo.
That's what I wrote. She smells Buffy?
Yeah, that she's now initiated and has the tattoo. So she kind of just throws Ethan to the side and goes straight for Buffy. Thankfully, Buffy gets free.
Yeah.
Like, in the nick of time, of course.
Always.
Yeah, always. And can start to fight Jenny. Giles arrives and basically is sacrificing himself.
Yeah, he's like, take me instead.
Yeah, so save Buffy, which is sweet, yeah.
Kind of sweet.
And all of a sudden, Angel comes in and attacks Jenny.
Yeah, I definitely didn't see this coming.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. Really good
yeah.
plot twist.
Mm-hmm.
And they're fighting, and he starts to choke Jenny, which Giles is like, he's gonna kill her. But this is all part of the plan.
Yeah, well, is it Willow that says, like, don't worry about it or something?
Yeah. And so he basically, the demon / Jenny realizes that in danger of dying. And so it jumps to the nearest dead body, which is Angel.
Yep, because Angel's dead.
Because Angel's dead.
Yeah.
But there's no vacancy.
Yeah.
There's no vacancy in Angel. He already has a demon in there.
Yep.
So the 2 demons are like battling inside Angel's body. And you see his face change several times. And he's like, ah! He's like in agony. Because there's like a battle going on.
Yeah.
And then you see the demon kind of come out of Angel and then dissipate.
Yep.
So you can tell that
there was nothing for it to go.
the vampire demon won. Yeah. There's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really, really cool.
And of course, Ethan sneaks out again.
I said, Ethan is like, bye. Is what again. Woo, bye. Like, he gets out of, he has like 15 lives, not 9.
And then Giles and Jenny just walk out together.
Yeah, they just kind of hobble out.
Yeah, I thought that was, I don't know.
No thank you to anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Or, hey, sorry about this, guys. Sorry to ruin your Saturday.
Yeah, bye.
Xander's like, this was still better than going to class. Like, this is what I wanted. This is what I prayed for. In the quad, Buffy is saying that she's going to get her tattoo removed with her allowance
in
1997.
Allowance. Yeah.
How much she get the allowance?
I know. That's...
And, like, I don't even think tattoo removal was really a thing in 1997.
Like, isn't allowance, like, I don't know, $5 a week or something? I don't know.
I'm like, okay, she's gonna get this tattoo removed in 1997 for an allowance amount of money. What? That was just so weird to me. I was like, that's so odd. I think Buffy says, oh, Willow, you really took charge of her. You could be a watcher. And she's like, no thanks.
Willow would actually make a good one, though.
She would, yeah.
She would, yeah.
And they kind of sympathize with Giles, like, I don't know how he takes the pressure.
Yeah.
Being a watcher. And obviously, he's had a rough time of it at the moment.
Yeah.
In the hallway, Giles tries to talk to Jenny.
Yeah, she brushes him off. What?
She's distant. You know, she, like, doesn't have any makeup on. Like, she doesn't look great.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, she doesn't look... She looks tired.
She said she was tired, too, because he's like, you didn't answer your phone all weekend, and she's like, I slept.
Yeah, she took her phone off the hook because he was trying to reach her. And she doesn't look good. I didn't think she looked good.
Okay, I missed that. All I noticed was that she was brushing him off, and I was like, no!
Yeah, I don't think she looked... She didn't have any makeup on, and yeah, she didn't look too hot. And yeah, she's distant.
Mm-hmm.
And he tries to be like, oh, we can go out for, like, dinner or a drink if you want to talk.
That shit down.
And he tries to reach out to her, and she, like, flinches away.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not ready for that.
That really surprised me, actually. Because she seemed like when he initially told her, like, hey, like, you're getting, like, if you want to be involved with me, like, you're getting involved in, like, some crazy shit. She was like, yeah, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
But now that she's been possessed
I guess it's like...
zombie demon, I guess.
Yeah, I guess maybe that's like... Okay, well, this stuff is out of your control. You did this.
I guess, maybe, yeah.
I'm just trying to, like, think what she's thinking. And also, this just happened.
So long ago, though.
This was, like, 2 days ago that it happened to her.
Yeah.
To her.
Like, what would he have been, like, 20 when he did that?
Maybe, yeah.
20 years ago? He's like, what, maybe 40? Or even, no, maybe not. He looks younger than that, maybe?
I don't know how old he is, actually. But from her perspective, this only happened 2 days ago to her.
Yeah.
Less than that. This is like Monday.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It happened on Saturday. This is like probably Monday at school.
Yeah, okay.
And he tried to call her on Sunday. So she just needs, I think she needs to process, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But it crushes him.
Yeah.
Like he's really sad.
Crushed me too.
I know. But you feel for
Jenny
him.
And Giles.
Yeah, you feel for him for sure. So Buffy comes up and knows Giles is sad and kind of tries to cheer him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, I never wanted you to see that side. And then she's just like, what, that you're a person?
Yeah.
Not just a grown-up, not just like, you know, like a librarian, not just some figure that like watches over, basically, but like, you're human.
A flawed human.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing because like, don't we all like have that like moment or couple moments, you know, like it builds up like, oh, grown-ups and adults are like flawed human beings or people. Yep. That's hard to like, especially like your parents or something. Like,
or someone you really look up to and admire.
Yeah.
It's a hard truth to swallow.
Yeah, exactly. So Buffy, this really was mostly about Giles, this episode, but Buffy has that moment where she's like, it was like maybe this is a bit harsh, but it was like a fall from grace. Mm-hmm. But
it's
a necessary one because he's a human being. You know what I mean? So I think she kind of put him on a pedestal a bit. Definitely. And this is reality. And everybody has that growing up where you realize, like, you see parents, you know, anybody that you look up to, like you said, like, as a person now. You know what I mean? So that was interesting.
Yeah.
That was basically Buffy's kind of journey through this episode. She says, I have got some music. Like, we should be training. And he's like, great. It's not music. It's just, like, what does he say? It's not music. It's just random sounds or something like that. And she's like, do you feel better? He's like, yes, thank you for letting me say that. And he says, Bay City Rollers. Now that's music. And she's like, I want to forget you didn't, I'm going to feel like you didn't say that. Yeah, and then they walk into the training room. So that's the end of the episode. Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting because this episode was pretty dark. I mean, it's called The Dark Age. It was pretty dark, but it was a lot of funny moments as well.
It was also very enlightening, though, because I was waiting for this Giles episode.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it. I knew it was coming.
You knew something was up. So my favorite quote, I always say favorite line, but usually it's like longer than that, but quote, whatever, is when we just talked about with Buffy says, I'm so used to you being a grown-up, and then I find out you're a person.
Yeah.
That is
a really good quote.
Yeah, it was a great quote, like, growing up. That's like one big part of growing up is that. And this kind of focuses more on Buffy's, like, what she's dealing with in this episode rather than Giles. But And then my favorite scene was when Xander and Cordelia square up and start fighting in the library. I just was, every time I watched it, I was just, like, laughing so hard. I just loved it. Yeah.
Okay. My favorite line was where they were picturing Giles in math class being like, there should be more math. This could be mathier. Yeah. And then they talked about his diapers being tweed. That was that whole, that was hilarious for me.
Yeah, I loved that.
And I think my favorite scene was the one at the end with Buffy and Giles where, she was like, trying to get him to cut himself some slack.
Yeah.
Like, he looks like he hates himself.
Yeah.
And it's just, she's like...
Yeah, he says she's never going to forgive him.
Yeah.
Like, she's never going to forgive me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I really felt for him. Yeah.
Yeah, Saturday was supposed to be a good night for him. But it turned out not to be so good.
Nope.
Oh, poor Giles. Kiss the librarian, poor Giles. So my steak rating, I gave it 4 out of 5 steaks. Oh, okay. There was a visceral reaction from Kimmy when I said 4 out of 5.
Only 4, huh?
Only 4. Good. Okay. I'm glad you liked it. So I like Bad Giles. Or the history of Bad Giles. Giles isn't bad. But I kind of liked that figuring out that side of him. It gives him more depth. It gives him more dimension than just like, like the stuffy, fuddy-duddy, goody-two-shoes librarian,
Yeah.
It gives him a little more something to him, so I like that.
Yeah.
Horny Jenny. My God. Like, even when she wasn't possessed, she, like, wanted him bad. Like, she's gonna destroy him. He's not gonna ever be the same if she forgives him. He's gonna be Ripper again, that's for sure. She's gonna bring that out in him.
Like, it's a bad thing.
Oh, it was just so funny. Like, she's, I don't know. Guess we'll see. And kind of this ties into my favorite quote, like seeing, kind of what we talked about, seeing grown-ups as flawed humans, which is I think is a big lesson in this, even though it's not the main kind of lesson of this episode. It really resonated with me, because, like, as you become an adult, like we just talked about, like, you just see people differently and different perspectives, because you see them as adults instead of, like, you're this, you're that. Like, they're their own person, and they have their own experiences, and, like, you're like, oh, okay. I didn't think about that when I was, 14 or whatever you were.
Definitely not. Yeah, exactly.
So I liked that kind of thing of it, that take on it. And yeah, it was just like kind of like it was so like looking so hopeful for Giles for some of the episode.
Yeah, it was.
And then it just crashed and burned.
Yep.
So I'm here for the struggle love. I love struggle love. So I like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the angst. I love angst. Not in my own life. I like to read it and watch it, obviously. Like, I love that stuff. So
fictional angst.
Yeah, fictional angst. So that gave it to me. So
okay. I gave it a 4.4, actually, not quite a 4.5, close, but I same as you, like, watching this Giles episode, I wanted to see his background. I finally got it. You get to see he's not, this perfect person that we kind of built him up to be, or at least I did.
Yeah, you're not alone.
Yeah, like he's just so human. It's funny, I even found him more attractive in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, oh yeah, he's kind of cute. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked that. And just how Buffy took, like, I just feel like him and Buffy almost, like, switched this episode, where, like, you know, he's having his falling moments, and she's just kind of there to pick things up.
Mm-hmm. Another role reversal.
Role reversal, yeah, that's what I was looking for, thank you. And then I really liked the scene with Willow, where she's just, like, she takes control. I love that shit. I'm all for the Willow stuff. So Willow getting, like, being stronger and stuff like that. Yeah. So I thought that was good.
Can you imagine Willow doing that in season 1?
No.
Stepping up like
also,
that? She's blossoming.
I noticed she was wearing makeup this episode, too.
Yeah, she was wearing lipstick.
I didn't really notice it in previous episodes.
I did really notice it when they were doing the game outside.
Oh, yeah,
she was wearing, like,
exactly.
pretty, like,
she looked cute.
Lipstick. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's blossoming.
Yes, this is what I'm here for. I want to see that blossom.
Mm-hmm.
And I like, yeah. So those are my things that I liked. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it is the first time we see Willow step up, but it won't be the last, which is good. She's coming out of her shell.
Yeah, she is.
So yeah,
I'm here for it.
She was the hero basically in this episode.
Yeah,
she got the solution.
She organized everything.
She came up with the solution. Like she came up with the angel idea.
And she also was like, "Hey, you do this. You do." Oh no, wait, that was Buffy.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, yeah.
But Willow delivered the solution.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good moment. It was a good episode for Willow. Okay, your question for next week.
Okay, here we go.
The episode is called "What's My Line?" Part 1.
Oh, two-parter. That's right. You said that.
Mm-hmm. And we discover, or we find out, Buffy's childhood obsession.
Oh, God.
Okay? Something that she was really, 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 really into and still is into. And here's a hint. I also had this obsession. And I'm still like it.
Oh, shit.
That's a hint.
I feel like I should know this.
Like childhood, like, obsession. Yeah.
Like Disney princess stuff?
No.
Okay. So if I think of obsessions from that time frame, I'm thinking it's not Barbie. It's not Trolls.
There's no IP. It's not IP.
Oh. Okay. It's just like a thing.
It's a... I'll give you a...
A hint that won't completely give it to me?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It is a... This might give it away. I don't know. It's a sport.
You like a sport?
Okay, guess did give it away.
Uh-oh. Well,
I mean, it is a sport.
If we go to the movie, she liked volleyball.
Oh, that's a good guess. I reacted like give you away, but it wasn't that though. Oh.
Obviously, that's not the answer. You like a sport? Like, wait, play or watch? I've already answered the question, so...
You're going to say volleyball?
I'll say volleyball final answer, yeah.
Okay.
But I'm curious to know more about you and apparently Buffy.
You want me to tell you now?
Maybe.
I'll tell you after we stop recording.
I'm so curious now. I feel like a bad friend. Damn.
Me and Buffy have this in common.
Okay, that's so weird. I'm such a bad friend.
And I still...
How do I not know
watch
this?
it.
Oh, you do? Oh, it's a watching thing. Okay, that makes me feel slightly better.
I would have liked to be experienced myself in this. But I would have liked to participate.
Like football.
But I haven't really.
Weird, okay.
Okay. We're going with volleyball, folks.
Figure skating? Okay.
Do you want to change your answer?
I feel like your dad liked football, right?
My dad did, yeah.
Figure skate? Did Buffy figure skate in the movie at all? Oh, yeah. Here's my answer to figure skating. Yes.
I can't. I just laugh.
Great. Okay.
Yes.
I love your poker face.
Oh, I gotta get better.
I also have a terrible poker face, if that helps.
Who knows? You could be wrong. Wait till next week to find out.
It's probably volleyball.
Wait to find out.
Should have stuck
everybody.
with my first answer.
We don't know. Okay. All right. Since I totally botched that. So that wraps up season 2, episode 8, The Dark Age. Again, you can find us on all major podcast apps and YouTube and Instagram at One Girl in All the World Pod. And please make sure to give us 5 stars wherever you listen. And you can email us at onegirlpod@gmail.com. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back next week with season 2, episode 9, What's My Line, part 1. See you real soon.
Bye.
Bye.